Locusts aren't doing all too well. Morel's trap stands empty. Just the locusts, dazed from being transported, slowly begin to acclimate to their new surroundings. They're not really going to get the chance to get comfortable here.
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
Hello, dear. Thank you for doing that, dear. Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him. I'm sorry, dear. You've had to drudge through them so many times. Such as field work.
Her voice is shaky. What is going on here?
Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back out, perhaps. That really is too much, sweetie. Thank you for your dedication, but I can see you're coming down with a cough yourself.
Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? It's like she's given up.
Different? How?
Answering a question with a question, for example. Defensive isn't her usual style.
I'm not. It's not that. It's a strange feeling. I haven't really told this to anyone, but you are a police officer. Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Or a dream? Seeing the Insulindian Phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not. Morel's so proud of it. He always tells everyone. No, at least I don't think I did, but Morel was so eager to believe my story was evidence of the Phasmid's existence. That I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That, and for years his belief made me believe too. But now we're both getting old and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just wrong? I think I was. I'm not sure of anything. Sometimes I still see it, you know. The real memory. Not the memory of the memory, but it's so hard to tell the two apart. Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary. Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This old thing is gas-powered. And then a taxi home. It's not so bad. Oh, sweetie, please don't get stuck on a dream. Take it from me and Morel. Okay, it's 1113 Tabernacle Road, Jamrock, but likewise, sweetie. Thank you for everything. Truly. Even though it turned out to be a
waste of time. A lie. A fool's hope, say her lips moving in silence. Like that, she drives off. The gas engine putters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside, the cold coastal wind blows.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? Then why are you waiting?
The door is closed. Still nothing. Still nothing. This door can only be opened with...
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. Okay, but please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want to disturb the spirits.
The woman looks... The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely shelves full of biography.
you're back. Good. What can I help you with?
She's not even asking you.
Of course, Detective.
The trap is filled with dead and dying locusts. Most of them aren't moving anymore. A few locusts trudge along the wall of the trap. just dead and dying locust.
Yes, what is it? The swallow, you mean? What about it? Because it's just trial and error. And I don't have a crate. Thanks.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves.
Waves are beginning to die down.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the big men on big horses.
Yes, a little worn around the...
They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats.
Which ones? Ah, those.
This set of soldiers is...
You're probably... I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. Okay.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits. All the old boom.
Hello, hello. Let me know. Sure, let me have a look. Oh, no. A photic path. Count.
You have absolutely no idea what...
Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps. I doubt it, but I can try.
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dog.
Someone...
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh, God.
Maybe. Shady-looking guys came in here yesterday, looking like they'd just taken off their Wild Pines overalls. They asked if I have a police weapon to sell. I told them I already sold it. They went their way. It was a trip, but you know, all sorts of people come here, asking for all sorts of things.
Wait, then it might be true, Everart's claims. People as oleaginous as...
Sure, man. Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
The purity of snow always reminds me of the purity of a man's soul. If
It is such a...
hello, compatriote.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big... The tear machine stands in the corner. A small cabinet on the wall is filled...
Okay, here. Okay, here.
A colourful...
Again, I'm obliged to inform you. Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know. A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe. I don't really care what Frit does.
She looks up from...
Fine. Frit doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay?
Right to work! A lorry stuck. The windows are clear. Fumes of heavy fuel. The woman still no response. An old monument.
Hola, Wandering Man.
The payphone.
Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno doesn't...
door is closed again. Nothing to do here anymore. You hear someone inside, walking from room to room. This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. No one answers.
I've got nothing to say to you.
Again? I can't believe this shit.
Yes? What is it?
The window stands broken in its... The morning light hurts your eyes. The morning light... Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window, you see 2, maybe 3 bushes grown into a single thicket.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
I've got nothing to say to you. What you want is of no significance, officer. Like I already told you, I am being a...
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. Let's.
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
Draw has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly. The container door appears unmoved by your attempt at flattery. The door does not respond to your advances. Is it possible that it seems somehow more closed than before? Before the cargo container. Its drawer has not, despite the dirt that surrounds and trails you, a beacon of light emerges from deep within you. The door stands silent. Try again. Just like that, you hear a click, then a rattle. Some mechanism unlocks itself inside the door.
Ahoy! Come on in!
Mr. Dubois, I hear the meeting with Titus was a glowing success. That's such a relief. Titus can be a handful sometimes. Now, what can Everard Clare do for you today?
Hard to say anything more about him. You cannot make out any of his details, but you do feel the overwhelming presence of capital. The feeling causes all the hairs on your body to stand at attention, like soldiers preparing for review. Something's amiss. The light beams bend around his face and scatter in 1,000 directions. It seems the laws of physics do not apply here. They are suspended, distorted, and echo. Trying to visualize the physics at play is liable to give you an aneurysm. Don't think about it too hard. In the general stillness, only your tongue moves, flickering as you utter.
Welcome. Come in. Make yourself at home. Sorry, I'm not better able to receive you. I wasn't expecting visitors today.
You can't hear him exactly, yet you're able to understand every word he says. It is very strange. An overwhelming hum covers everything. Voice doesn't escape from him.
Now, what can I do for you, good sir? Who am I? Oh, I haven't been asked that question for such a long time. I don't meet a lot of people outside my circle these days. Anyhow, my name is Rustam Theodore, investor, license holder, and extremely high net worth individual. And you are? Pleasure to meet you, Harrier Dubois. I must admit, the name suits you very well. Traveling. This is a great way to get around. It's fun, it's safe, and it gives me lots of time to think. By the way, let me now ask you a question. Where are we exactly?
In the very, very early days of colonizing this archipelago, the kingdom of Surens, a precursor of a modern Sur-le-Clair, used to own the city of Revachol, an obscure detail in the bigger picture, but still worth dropping.
A fellow history buff. I myself am currently reading up on Franco-Nigerian era trains. Very interesting stuff. It's a shame I can't get out and explore myself. One of the downsides of being an extremely high net worth individual is that mobs of low net worth individuals are constantly banding together to ask for money. Smart, you know? It also provides a means to hide from all the targeted advertising we extremely high net worth individuals are constantly subjected to. Luxury yachts, high fidelity portable radio systems, fail-proof outerwear, and so on. It just gets a bit middle class after a while. A bit bourgeois. Don't get me wrong. They're nice things, but once you achieve a certain level of wealth, your time and mental space become much more important than material goods. Go right ahead. To be perfectly blunt, I inherited my fortune from my grandmother, who herself was an extremely high net worth individual back in Grad. All I did was take her fortune and invest it prudently. Believe it or not, it takes more than a bit of skill not to blow a vast fortune on sailing boats, bad choices, and unsupervised state policy.
And blow. Actually, at the level this guy is, it takes several generations to do that. But, alright.
I gotta tell you, at first, being rich is a lot of work. You've got to work hard because everything's so darn expensive. You know, prices increase exponentially at this income level. But then, once you've reached my position, it's nearly impossible for me not to make money. My assets are so diversified that I'm bound to come out ahead no matter what. Some of my lower net worth friends say to me, "But doesn't that take all the fun out of it?" And I tell them, not really. Precisely, Mr. Dubois. You know, I hear people talk sometimes about economic equality and fairness, but tell me, where would we be without liberalism? In caves, whacking each other with bombs. A nightmare scenario, a world of slavery and violence. Which brings us back to the essential truth of modernism. Where we are right now, the freedom of mankind can only be derived from the free flow of capital. It is truly, it's almost entirely carefree. It really leaves you time to better yourself spiritually.
Hey, all this talk about money has made you lose the thread. What is going on with the light in this place? That's what you need to ask him about.
What do you mean? Are you talking about my chin? Oh, that's what you mean. Yes, I've heard of this effect, though I've never witnessed it myself, of course. It has something to do with our Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient.
The Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient is a ratio designed to reflect the difference in net worth between individuals. When the coefficient is close to 1, or 100%, it means one person possesses all the net worth. Among that group of individuals, it's been observed that when the Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient reaches about 0.96 or so, the laws of physics begin to bend around the high net worth individual.
Among other things, but calm down. I'm but a lowly single-digit billionaire. No, not really. There are actually quite many digits. Sure. Let me check my pockets. As you may know, us high net worth individuals do not have a lot of cash on hand. Investments and liquidity are enemies of one another. I think they only have coins for coffee machines. Here is 3 real. How much can you get for this? You're welcome. You know, maybe you can make that money grow. Come up with an investment plan. How's that sound? Thanks for stopping.
business planning were really your strong suit, you probably wouldn't be a cop.
A volunteer police force. And why would I do that? That's why I should invest? Are you trying to say that the RCM's bad reputation makes it an undervalued asset? Still, the idea of a privatized police force is extremely forward-thinking. You could even say it's ultra-liberal. Tell me, if you could invest in the RCM, where would you direct your resources?
The latest technological wonders.
The RCM's problems aren't the kind you can solve with radio computers. The road goes much deeper than that. You need to think bigger. The entire org structure of the RCM needs to be redefined. You need a unified chain of command, an end to petty spots between precincts, new metrics for measuring performance that reward real police work. Does that sound right? Hell no! Can you imagine how much work that would take? Why would I do that when I can just speculate on exotic financial derivatives from the comfort of this shipping container? The thing about investing is that the less work you have to do, the better. Don't overthink. That's what return on investment means. Now, was there anything else I could help you with? What do you mean? Are you talking about my chain? Oh.
The Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient is a ratio designed to reflect the Weiss-Wiseman coefficient for you and this individual appears to be 0.9998, repeating. That's not good for you.
Among other things. No, not really. They're actually... It was a real pleasure. Sadly though, my current farewell friend.
The file cabinet, the drawer, slide.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? I'm afraid I can't say any more until we've taken care of formal protocol. Did you? Wonderful.
She's memorizing your badge number.
It is a relief to see a W freighter here. The situation is precarious, to say the least. It needs a quick solution, or we will have a bloodbath on our hands. I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail. They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer. A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor. Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering. Crenel, an Oronese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment. The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched. Lost nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenel contractors carry out their orders, for now. It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
Investigation upon investigation here in Martinez, racing towards some dark deadline.
Surely you're joking. These people are killers. My only hope is that yours provides a single concrete suspect before they indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
The Union has over 2,000 men.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, detective? It's not pretty.
The Ceres giant hornet, the world's second largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all. As I said, a bloodbath. Too many things have already gone wrong. Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. All we can do is keep the little that is not from following suit. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation. Yes, I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivachol West. Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell. They boast a long list of clients: Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such. Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
The International Collaboration Police, ICP, is charged with coordinating law enforcement activities in complex, multinational investigations. Their database is the single largest source of information in the world.
Ah, yes, your condition. The International Collaborative Police maintains a database for these sorts of things. Perhaps you should consult it. I have, and they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it. The remaining contractors, their tribunal, it's what they believe. That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez. Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates, supposedly the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him. That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor about a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe. If you mean did I see him alive, yes, but I did not know him. Lely, his service name, a nom de guerre most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one. He was 40, or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions. He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian maybe. His injury gave him an accent. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once. They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting. You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbour gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
The situation at the gates is a powder keg. She says she wants to avert catastrophe, but that's where she draws the line. I call bullshit.
I hope I can answer it better. Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob and their impatience. Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative. It's a matter of days, not weeks. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask. Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
For about half a minute, in silence. She wears fingerless gloves. Her fingernails are cut short and fractured, like those of a working woman. Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent. Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels. Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then Revachol. Those are the two constants, Vredefort on the shoulder and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Vredefort? Vredefort has a military academy. The Semines Islands saw a recent conflict. In Revachol, he was executed.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident. Mercenary tattoos.
For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter on the seas.
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it. His platoon members? The other contractors, though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task. Search elsewhere.
Do what you have to do, Detective Dubois. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security, but if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Shame on you!
Don't think so.
Silence. He takes the photo. Grey eyes dart back and forth on the glossy surface. His face is unmoving.
Fucking loincloths. Really did him in.
What it means.
In what must have been Semonine.
I can tell you what this one means. Only one. You want to hear what happened here? Our colonel is deep in the bush here. Deep in the fucking bush in Benital, 41. Monsoon season. He's on a reconnaissance mission.
Benital is one of the inhabited islands of the Semonese archipelago near the Pale. Covered in jungle, it was anchor point for the Semonese nationalists in the proxy war held on the islanders' territory.
He spent a month behind enemy lines, scouting kipped villages. Nothing but fucking bugs and snakes for fun. Men are getting restless. There's talk of switching employers.
With some strange emotion, this is about to get really graphic. Last moment to back off.
What's the matter, militiaman? No stomach for it? This man was worth 1,000 loincloths. We're done talking here. Hell no. I'm just an honest scab. I won't have talk like that around here. You understand?
It just has to be said, that was not a convincing line.
Fucking bug.
You hear a tiny rattle, a small radio, cracking somewhere. I'm going to interpret that as a yes. There's a tribunal, and it won't be long until it's ready.
How about you fuck off now, huh?
The man's breathing steadies, but his eyes are still narrow. Slowly, he's trying to get his right-to-work dance back on.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
Hello, compatriote. You have something to discuss?
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
Fuck does Kuno care? Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't fucking care.
die before I squeal, pig. I come from the woods, good Davidu. You don't want to go there with me. You don't want to see what I've seen.
Don't be traumatizing here. Get the fuck out of here.
The trash container stand.
The purity of snow always reminds me of the purity of a man's soul. Unfortunately, I don't. In Martinez, cop is a...
He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent.
If I knew, I would not be afraid.
'Tis true, sire. He knows nothing.
It is such a... Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. But that's all I know, really. No, I'm sorry. And I really would like to assist.
Then help him, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with the ghost caviar in the Union. Someone must know something.
He means caviar socialists.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything. I always keep my nose clean and don't gossip. Everyone knows and respects that.
Odd. He doesn't seem to be lying, but there's something off here.
I'm not even anyone.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of Union prick he can't even speak properly.
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not anyone important in the Union. I just know Evrard. Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers. I taught these boys human studies and history in the gymnasium.
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history. Only heard about it years later, when it had already moved on. You don't know history.
The old soldier mumbles something under his breath and turns to face the sea. There he stands, proud, rigid and alone, like a cracking marble statue.
What a prick. The officer was addressing me, not you, Captain. Where were we?
Where were we? What a joyous way of putting it.
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties, help with little things. Evrard, Edgar, and the older debarders all know me. Oh, yes. Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or a membership card, but Evrard keeps me on the payroll, just for the little things.
So that's what it was before. Him hiding something. He tries to make it look like he's a big deal in the Union, and now the illusion is disintegrating before your and René's eyes. He doesn't know anything, because no one tells him anything. He's an outsider.
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew that. He's a Weservein. Turns to where the wind blows and tries to look important. I hate this socialist rabble, but even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence, never committing to anything. Pick a damn side already.
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, he needs something written, and I happen to have a way with words, people say. Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just essays for the newspapers. About Martinez and how things are and how they could be. Evrard and I had these long talks where...
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple. You should be ashamed of yourself.
That's why Gaston isn't a union member. Everard needs a neutral party to speak his ideas.
That's just the way things work around here. No reason to feel bad about it. I don't even consider myself a regular socialist. Politics is not really something I involve myself in, officer. Officer, I have a vivid imagination. And like I said, I have a way with words. That's enough. No need to sink into politics.
He just fluffs it up.
Of course. Don't sink into anything. Don't sink into any fight. Only sink into your couch.
I believe everyone has the right to think and do whatever they want. Even if it's nothing at all. I'm very adaptable.
Come on, you.
Thank you, officer, for being a consummate profession. Sure, officer. Thank you.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Of course. Anything to help. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad... Oh? Of course, Detective. I fear I've told you all I know. Is there anything else I can help you with? Of course. Of course.
Don't tell her you've met...
Give me a moment.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
I don't believe it. I've never known those boys to have manners. They'll never be skulls, but their hearts are in the right place. Fat chance. But you can still do your part to revitalize the neighborhood.
She throws you a conspiratorial glance, then presses her finger to her lips and squints up at the sky, as though...
Have you noticed the quiet? Every so often, you might hear a gunshot pierce the air somewhere in Jamrock. But this place is a sepulchre. We'll paint it red. We bring the raucous. You bring the sirens.
With a matrix. East Delta Commerce Center. This must be the name of the doomed commercial area. old East Delta Commerce Center? This must be the name of the... No.
Yes? What is it? That's...
Whoa. How does she know your...
that was. Yeah, horrible.
Jean.
She actually did.
Yes, I called you by your name. What about it? God, everybody knows your name. Please go finish your investigation, so everyone can go home.
Again? I can't believe this shit.
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. I love those. What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business. He wasn't pan-fried. He was lynched. What could the kitchen possibly have to do with... Fine, okay. The kitchen is closed until 1 p.m. because the cook is working. You can snoop around after that, if you must. Yes?
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time? What you want is of no significance. I am being...
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask. Or get back. Let's.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Yeah, by friends, you mean his squad mates from Crenell.
Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma.
Let them come. The Hardy Boys are right fucking here.
You heard the man. Right here. We're armed. We got the whole district behind us. And Glenn. Glenn is fucking crazy.
Yeah. A well-oiled murder machine.
So are the local gangs. The fucking Barmy Army and the Madre scum. You've been out there. Seen any around?
Yeah. Where are they now, huh? Sent back to Madre in an airtight cargo crate.
We got weapons of our own. We got Ister 50s, Zeelagers. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home. I guess we're gonna see.
That was an unsure phrasing.
Yeah, like you've been up against ceramic armor. You haven't even seen the whole suit, right? I've seen the whole fucking thing, and it didn't make him immortal. Big fucking surprise. They hire psycho scum, arm them to the teeth, and let them loose in the city. What do you think is gonna happen? The fuck is that supposed to mean?
We're not bees. We're men. We're socialists.
Easy, E. He's trying to phase you. What are you trying to do? Scare my men? What do you mean, okay? Goddamn right we do. We done it before. Ain't that right, fellas?
Fuck yeah, we have. Battle-hardened urban soldiers, man. We got the guns and the reserves.
Yeah, we got reserves. We can call in reinforcements.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your...
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Establish authority. Yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind.
The fuck are you talking about? Gun? No one's gonna let you wave a gun around here.
Did you already try the gun thing? I hear the gun thing is excellent and has great results. You're probably right. The others are only there for filler, to make the gun thing pop.
And what exactly is it you've been doing that's so goddamn special? Shitting yourself in front of us. Going around, harassing kids on the street. Kids who've done nothing wrong. All the while talking racist shit. Don't think we aren't watching, Fascia. People here trust us. We're getting complaints.
Fascia. That's short for fascist.
Of course you are. E, didn't Carly work in a diaper shop?
Yeah. Callie said you've been hanging around the adult diaper shop, browsing the aisles. Too ashamed to ask for assistance.
Now that I can believe. And then there's the matter of the floor being completely covered in feces.
This Carly is a made-up person. It's nothing but a mean joke. They just want to see how you wriggle out of it.
Again.
Good one, Titus.
Didn't
they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
Look, I'm not gonna play 20 questions with you, capo. I'll say it again. We killed him.
That definitely caught him off guard. In comes number 2 to take care of it.
Yeah, I knocked him out. Came up behind him and clapped him in the back of the head. He went down like a sack of sand.
That's right, lawman. And then we hanged the fuck.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first, then see if it all adds up.
My fucking elbow, Copper. Samaran boxing style.
Samaran boxing, or Sambo, is an eloquently violent set of one-on-one fighting moves originating from the Samaran Isola. Sambo style implies stealth, cleverness, and cool. He may be lying, but he's good at it. No twitching, no rushing, no uncalled for details.
Right fucking here. Eugene already told you that the fuck had started coming to our bar.
Yeah, man. Weren't you listening?
Like what, Copper? Why? So am I. Now, we
Didn't they teach you anything?
Make them
my fuck.
He may be lying, but he's good at it. No twitching.
Of course.
Fuck up.
Keep your eye on this powerful guy.
Like what, Copper? About fucking time.
You see a heavy steel door. The cobalt blue surface feels rough. Old cobalt paint, rough on the fingers. It leads to a side gate. The door does not. The man ponders his cooking utensils. He looks up at you. Then, shrugging is an international sign for no. He smiles. It's almost like you see ahead. The door does not. The cobalt old coat. It leads.
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. Oh yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just... No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
Fine, okay. A little. But So, I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't found a... Yes?
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
This time it's going to work. You already...
And what all the while?
Fascia.
Yeah.
Now that I can believe.
This Carly is a The bullet is still safely sealed away in a plastic. The jacket of the bullet is made. The core is lead. You can just about make... What's interesting about the bullet thus far? Exactly. Very interesting. You have an unusual military-grade bullet in your hand. Now all you need is to find a gun that could fire it.
Everything still only the coolest goods in Revachol. I've got sneak anything for you.
Waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down.
The trap is filled with The man sees you approaching.
Officer? Is that an RCM term of art for the wrongfully accused?
How do you expect to assign la responsabilité if you won't apologize for your own mistakes?
I'm listening.
The man considers your words a moment, then nods slowly.
I accept your apology, officer, out of my profound respect for the RCM and the importance of our continuing partnership. Now, what brings you down to the coast? My friend, if it's la responsabilité you're after, I have good news for you. There's no need to form such a committee, because it already exists.
God, of course it does. These moral intern types.
The Comité de Responsabilité de Revachol, it acts as a sort of clearinghouse for coalition activities. To put it simply, they are the ultimate arbiters of la responsabilité in this part of the world.
Yes, this is just the sort of reasonable authority you're looking for.
I would offer to connect you with the committee myself, but alas, I am not actually in Martinez.
What? Where is he then? He's speaking figuratively. He means he's not in Martinez in his official capacity.
Précisément. Officially, I am still in La Delta, preparing for an upcoming conference on fuel oil derivatives. That's why it would be extremely irregular, or potentially even inappropriate for me to intercede with the committee concerning a district I'm not officially in. Well, under ordinary circumstances, the committee contacts you.
In other words, the committee only knows what it wants to know.
But if you have information of a vital interest, they might be willing to entertain an exception. In which case, I would advise you to contact them via Coalition Warship Archer. This is quite the problem. Very tricky. Of course, the Archer has orders to fire on any unidentified aerostatics that might approach it, so it might be safer to get in touch from the ground. But in that case, you would require a radio transmitter capable of broadcasting on coalition frequencies. And that kind of technology naturally isn't typically available for non-coalition use. Yes, it is a bit of a conundrum. I suppose there might be some way to circuit bend your way onto those frequencies, but you'd have to be one of those techno-tinkerers to do it. Unauthorized circuit bending is a very serious matter with grave security implications. But as of the moment, there is no specific law forbidding it. In Revachol, at least.
This sounds like something that programmer you met in the church might help with.
Let me just say that I have complete confidence in the RCM. I'm sure you'll figure something out. Well, that's très simple. I was visiting the fishing village just north of here. They have applied for a series of microloans to revitalize the old market. And well, I wish to see the situation firsthand. And then, well, I had some extra time on my hands, so I decided to stroll down here. It's quite peaceful, isn't it? Yes. There's nothing like a stroll along the coast to lift one's spirits. Really? Here? How can you be sure? Ah? Is that what those pockmarks are? I might have guessed. Fascinating how much history is contained right here, if only one knows where to look for it.
Are you just going to let him get away with these generalities and euphemisms?
Well said. Let us just be grateful that we don't live in such fascinating times. Ah bon? I'm all ears, officer. Always my pleasure to be of assistance to the RCM. Godspeed, and if we don't meet again, bonne chance.
Yes, what is it? Do I look like someone who has time for side projects at this moment?
If you want her help, maybe you should help her first.
The Swallow, you mean? What about it? Great, thanks. You arrested them? Didn't think the cops in this place had it in. No? Yes. And? No. You're... Yes, what is it? You arrested them? Didn't think the cops in this place had it in them. I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything. I'm working.
The machine seems...
Could you... Great. The Swallow, you mean? What about it? Because it's just trial and error. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could... Great. Thanks. Yes, what is it? I brought them here. These are my machines. So you do know something about computers? No, I don't. Because I needed something good for Besides, owning a rain...
No, actually, it is kind of a big deal.
I know of Prefect is mainly based on the same technology as Rain. I used the AR-1. Mm-hmm. Yes? You really don't know anything about radio All right. Well, on the it's all around.
Like love.
I guess it, but it's not the cheap anyway. You should do some research before they are connected to my range.
Short and terse. There you have it.
Great.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. I doubt it, but
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing. You see rows of toy soldiers, big men on big horses.
Yes.
With East Delta Commerce Center. This must be the name of the doomed commercial.
Promising, raise pupil.
The payphone hangs. This is the night watchman's. The chair is not as austere as the rest of the booth. A thin grey pillow. The drawers are empty, save for old timesheets and receipts. You stand.
Mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Lariche said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back. No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's like that old saying goes, wisdom withers if not shared. And old Leo is always up for sharing. Oh, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started. It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time the lunch is done.
Power borscht, huh? Never heard of a borscht that turns little guys into dogfighters. Alcohol, however.
Yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags. Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad. Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that. Yes, sir.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair. Mega rich lightbending guy? Oh my god, how did that get in there? Damn it to hell, Harry! I specifically told my guys to check all the containers for mega rich lightbending guys. Honestly, Harry, we might be moving all kinds of suspicious things through this harbour, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega rich. I have a reputation to protect. No, they're not. They're vermin, and one just found a way inside my container. Soon, he'll bring the others. All 3 of them. Thank you for telling me. I'll see to this immediately. I shudder to think what you're going to tell me next, Harry.
Not for 1 second did he believe there's an actual mega-rich person somewhere in his container town.
I don't know what that means, Harry. Shady brew? There are so many moving parts in my operation, I can't keep track of them all. You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me. Just one thing. If you can, make it even shadier.
He sincerely has no idea what you were talking about. And he doesn't care either.
Great! You are absolutely, Harry. What's... Yes, yes. What's that, Harry? You're getting...
Can I help you? Can I help you? Another thing. Yes?
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your The mention of mañana gets his attention. He smiles and delivers a whole slew of unfamiliar words and lively gestures. The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language of his and then seems to wait for you to speak. I'm pretty sure he asked you a question. He doesn't know your language. You can just say something cool in return. Just one word. Sounds quizzical. Then he awaits your answer with his brow arched.
Borscht need more vodka?
Of course, vodka. Now that makes a very, very special borscht indeed. Turn it up and then ask for some yourself. Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg. The cook gives you a long, disappointed look, then turns the stove off and seems to wait for you to speak.
can I help you?
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme. Hi again, gendarme.
It's the sports. He's a sports guy. All about...
Bye-bye, gendarme.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with...
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste make. Okay, here. Okay, here. I hope. Okay, here. I hope Saint.
the dented yellow mailbox. You sit on the wind-worn wooden planks of the bench. Your feet ache.